Hello and welcome back to another game of Dota 2. You are here, of course, with StarLadder Star Series. It is still Season 8. This is day 14, and this is game 3 of 3. So this is our last game of the day. We're gonna watch Mousesports on the Dire side and Flip side Tactics Russia on the Radiant side. And of course, I'm not by myself. I'm joined once again by General Advance. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
Right, I forgot that I was using push to talk. I wasn't using it yesterday with Vikram on. I was using Skype, so I didn't used to have to. So I completely forgot for a moment then and said hello. So.
And then I said again, welcome back, and then you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on at first. I was like, okay.
I was doing the whole thing like if an announcer for the show announces someone and he doesn't come up, like that happened a lot in the A team. I don't know why I remember the A team when I think about something like that, but where they...
The A team?
The A team! Yeah, because then, you know, someone was called on stage and then they didn't show, and then, you know, they got saved, or they got killed, or whatever. No, they didn't get... Nobody ever died in the A team, I know.
Nobody ever... No, someone does die in that. One person dies.
Yeah, but then they all, like, are really sad, and it's because he died of old age, and they all go to the funeral, and, you know, it's very sad and stuff. Now kids learn to deal with it.
Yeah, more people die in cartoons than that.
Yeah, you always see everybody get out from the car after a car crashes. Every single time.
That's true. In a lot of TV shows, they're like, kind of shy away from stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here though, people just respawn. Like, we're totally okay with killing people off in Dota.
Yeah.
Because they'll just come back. Like, it's not as brutal. I mean, if you're killed by like a Venomancer or something, then I guess you could come back and you'd be like, seriously guys, that really hurt.
Reserve time.
Well, we'll see who gets to kill who this game, because Mousesports has been on quite the roll lately. You casted a game yesterday of them against Alliance where they were able to be victorious, I believe? Yes.
Mousesports were on fire yesterday. They looked awesome. And to be honest, I didn't really expect it. I mean, I thought this team was a little bit underrated, a little bit underestimated, but they just sort of smashed through Alliance. I mean, Alliance were playing quite passively, but Mousesports were playing a very, very aggressive lineup, and it seemed like they were very comfortable with that, so it'll be interesting to see if they go for something like that. Again, Crystal Maiden first pick, nothing surprising there, doesn't really tell you much about the draft.
No, what is interesting though is that the Venomancer got banned out first, and the Nature's Prophet. Now, Nature's Prophet may be a bit more unusual than a Venomancer, but both are not really common anymore to see in the first ban stage. Interesting for sure. We still have Mirana in the pool. We'll see what F3 Flipside goes for this time, because of course they went for a Mirana previous game and it didn't really work out. So I'm hoping they're gonna have a new.
Don't do it, Flipside. Don't do it.
There's still an Alchemist in the game as well, so they could go for the same things again, but I just really hope they won't.
I hope they don't, because last game, I mean, there's no real secret to it. They just didn't look all there, to be honest. They weren't performing to their best. I mean, this team hasn't picked up any wins so far in StarLadder, but it's not like this is an easy tournament. They're a new team to it. It's not surprising to see them struggle, but they've had some really good performances. Last game, they just looked out of it. Hopefully they can sort of reset, refresh, come into this strong, and looks like they've gone for a very different first two pickups here, Visage and Clockwork, which, yeah, exactly.
Yes. So, yeah, Clockwork offlane most likely, Visage on the support. They will have to deal with the Bristleback. Their Bristleback wasn't very successful like the game before, but we know how successful Bristlebacks could be when played the way they should be, and they need to have something to deal with that. So they need to have a bit of burst damage, and Visage does bring that. So that's good. I don't think it's enough, but it's a start. Crystal Maiden, of course, a great support together with the Bristleback, because you have a slow, you have a disable, allows for Bristleback to get in more range, to get more quills off, to just continuously bash people. And I mean bash with just hitting, not actually bashing, but it's already two very strong pickups of Mouse as well. But on the other hand, Mousesports does kind of give away one of their lanes. I'm expecting it to be a tri lane. I'm hoping it's going to be an aggressive tri lane, but of course you never really know. But and maybe Flipside now can already start working to find a way against that Bristleback.
Mousesports.
Yeah, running an aggressive tri-lane with a Crystal Maiden, Bristleback, obviously two very, very strong heroes to start that with. One issue, of course, is that you are going against a Visage who's arguably still the best try-on-try hero. I think some people would say Undying, but we don't really see that hero anymore because of all his other issues that he has. But it is a very, very strong starter to an aggressive tri-lane if they do want to go with that. Mousesports bans hero really unusual for me. They actually take out a Luna from the pool, so that to me says they're not going to go aggressive, because generally Luna is a hero you want to actually go try with.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe they did a bit of homework, see what Flipside banned out in previous games. They banned out a lot of pushing heroes with the Venomancer, the Nature's Prophet, and also the Luna, kind of. And a strong mid. So I'm actually thinking that they're maybe not that familiar with Flipside and just ban out heroes that they don't want to face. They don't want to be pushed. They don't want to be having a mid hero that they have to really find a counter against. No, they want to play their game. And I think that's their thought process right there. Just ban out the heroes that don't allow you to play your game. And in that case, well, they ban out the right heroes.
Yeah, sometimes that's a really, really strong way to go with your draft, is to just say, we don't care what you're going to do. We think we're good at this. We're pretty sure we're good at this. We're just going to do this. And you have a choice. You can either play to our game plan, or we can really, really mess with your game plan, because that's the sort of way that Mousesports look to have been doing things recently. They've been very aggressive, and they're picking up things like Bristleback. That certainly already says in this draft they're likely to want to be.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Good for us, though. It's good.
5 seconds
Lich is the last ban
remaining.
for Flipside. I mean, they ban out the Enchantress, which sometimes indicates that someone wants to pick up a Chen.
Reserve time.
When you're in a game like this, where you already know that your enemy team is going to have something like a Bristleback, I'm not sure if I would go for a Chen. I would go for a support that has a solid disable. Chen could get disables, of course, with help of Centaurs or Trolls or whatnot. But I really think that they need something to shut people down, and the support is a strong one for that. Maybe even a Vengeful Spirit, lower that armor of the Bristleback to help out. But a disable is definitely something they need. If it's via their carry, via their mid, I mean, if they want to have a sturdy mid, they can always go for a Dragon Knight. We saw how well that worked out for Fada in the previous game, and they saw that too. So perhaps they want to try that out sometime. So they could, but they need something solid, something strong, something that can have the game on his shoulders around between 15 and 20 minutes.
Mousesports turn.
Lifestealer can do that.
Well, if they
25.
decide to build for it, Lifestealer, which is their next pickup on the side of Flipside, is quite a strong hero for doing that. He's not particularly great versus Bristleback, because generally Bristle just turns away, and because Bristle doesn't actually have that higher health gain, Lifestealer doesn't do as much damage to him, although obviously he's cutting through his health. That when he does get his health cut through, it hurts that little bit more because he's got lower health. But Bristleback's passive ability, Bristleback, nicely named,
Yes.
will help versus the Lifestealer very, very well. So, kind of an interesting pick there. It is very strong with the clockwork, though. Makes for great ganking in the mid game.
That's true. Hookshot, infest in, jump on someone, kill him off. Bristleback will be a bit difficult to do, but Crystal Maiden, well, that can work. Let's see what Mousesports picks up next, because they're taking a long time to decide what they want to pick up. Well, they had a long time to think about that already, because Flipside wasn't the fastest. Oh, there we go. Hello.
It's the king of Dota himself now. This hero, it's all about execution. If you execute it right, though, it's very, very difficult for the side of Flipside to deal with. Even some of the strongest lockdown spells in the game mean nothing versus Slark. You almost feel compelled to pick Doom because he can't Dark Pact Doom. It's one of very few things he can't actually get off himself.
I have learned a
10 seconds remaining.
I wouldn't call it a trick, but I got a tip from both Draskell and Pyrian Flex about Slark.
Reserve time.
That if you
Tip from
don't,
Pyrian?
yes, because
Tip from Pyrian.
Draskell told Pyrian and Pyrian told me.
Oh,
So
okay,
if
that's
you-
fine then.
If you right-click a target, like if you're afraid to miss your pounce, and you right-click the target that you want to pounce, and then click the pounce button, then you're almost always gonna be able to pounce
Radiant team ban.
properly.
Yeah, generally he's pretty good to hit on some of the slower moving targets. Some of the really fast heroes that won't work with at the longer ranges. Like point blank, you can get away with it. Flip side though, apparently they want to go for a pretty strong global pick-off and ganking lineup here. They picked up Clock and Storm with a Lifestealer. This means pretty much anybody on their own at any point in this game is afraid of dying. Now, Mousesports have picked up 3 very hard to kill
I was gonna say, like, who is gonna be afraid of dying? Look at their faces. They don't look afraid of death.
Slark, maybe not so much, but Dragon Knight and Bristleback, I think they can still be killed by this combination. Storm Spirit puts out one of the most ridiculous amounts of damage. Same for Clockwork, and his Battery Assault puts out 1,075 damage, I believe, when maxed out, if you use it on one target. So it's very powerful. It takes a while, though.
Yeah, I have to say, like, Storm Spirit, he wants to get level 6 before, of course, he can actually do that and then have some extra farm. I wonder if Mousesports is going to give time to Flipside to get that ball rolling. Because Dragon Knight is going to be, like, as soon as he gets level 6, I'm going to expect Mousesports to start rotating and start killing people. Slark by that time might be level 6 as well. Because is this a Bristleback offlane Slark solo safe and a Bristleback Crystal Maiden and whatever on the last hero? And there's your
I would have to assume so, but we just haven't really seen enough Slark to know whether he's viable enough in other roles outside of the safe lane, which so far he seems to be most successful in. And Flipside just apparently want to kill people. They want to gank really hard, picking up a Nyx now.
Yeah, let's hope that they get the levels, because that's something that I'm worried about for Flipside, but not as much for Mousesports, because as we already pointed out, Mousesports heroes are fairly tanky, fairly survivable, and I think they're gonna get their core level, like their level 6s, at decent timing. For Flipside, I'm just like they need level 6 on Nyx Assassin, of course, which is a support, so it will take a bit longer than general. Storm Spirit will need a bit more than level 6. He also needs a couple of items. Same thing goes for Lifestealer. And I'm wondering if they can do that, especially when now a Chen picks up, which is of course a hero that can force out rotations early on and bring some creeps along with that. And if you have a Crystal Maiden smoked up behind the Chen as well, there's really not going to be an escape. I mean, Storm Spirit before he's level 6, he's going to be a very easy target for them. I'm kind of worried for them.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really smart pickup, picking up the Chen on Mousesports. As long as he's not the one ganked, he's able to either save people by sending them back, especially the tankier ones, the Bristleback, the DK. It's going to take a long time to kill them. He can very easily send them back. And somebody who maybe they're trying to burst down, he can use the ulti for. And he'll probably pick up a mech as well. I mean, it's almost certain.
Yeah, indeed. Let's take a look at who's playing what, as we do have a pause coming out from Flipside. Well, I'll start with Mousesports. We've got Ace playing the Bristleback. Unicorn, he is the carry player, and he will start on the Slark. Picked up 2 sets of tangos. Exist will go on mid lane with his Dragon Knight, and then Rise on the Chen. Crit will play the Crystal Maiden, and it only is kind of the question if Bristleback is going to be alone on the bottom lane, or if Crit's going to join him.
I think they'll leave him alone on this bottom lane, to be honest. There's not a huge amount of kill potential on the side of Flipside as long as he sits under his tower. It's kind of difficult to dive a Bristleback, no matter what heroes you're working with. Even Visage and Lifestealer and Nyx will struggle to actually take him down underneath his tower. On the side of Flipside, though, it is going to be Buick. He's picking up the Nyx Assassin for the team, one of the supports. The other is going to be Sheasley. He's going to be on the Visage Enlight. Generally, the solo mid player looks like he might be going onto the safe line here as the Storm Spirit. The mid for the team, it is going to be S7. Generally seems to be the carry player, but he wants to farm up in the solo mid position as the Lifestealer. And last but not least, it is going to be Afterlife. He'll be on the off lane as the Clockwork. Already picked up Power Cogs level 1, so he'll get a really strong block off early, which will help him. Because Flipside's lanes are a little bit weaker than Mouse's to me. Overall, I think Mouse have got a really strong draft, and Slark is pretty scary.
Yeah. And it seems like Flipside, if they go for a safe lane indeed, then they are seemingly quite confident that they can actually
the battle begins.
They can actually leave Mouse to just do whatever they want until Flipside has got their plan ready. Like normally you see an aggressive tri lane to at least try and slow down someone of your enemy team, but they don't seem to want to do that, so Well, let's see who gets there first, basically, is the question. And who gets to that sweet spot first? Because if Flipside reaches it first, I mean, they have a very strong ganking lineup for sure. But if they don't, well, then Mousesports is going to be nearly unkillable by the time that they do reach that point.
Yeah, the side of Flipside just needs to do relatively well in this this early laning stage. Make sure that Mouse don't get too much off of them. Make sure that they don't lose their lifestealer on the middle lane. He's not too easily ganked though, because he is working with Rage and such, of course. But he's not also the greatest mid laner. He'll probably he'll do quite well versus the DK. He can trade with him relatively well early on. But DK, he'll do quite well in this matchup, I think.
Well,
they just need to get to the mid game, really.
This lifestealer has got and a shield and a quelling blade, and he's already has got 10 attack damage more than a Dragonite overall. So this is... S7 should be getting ahead in terms of last hits by far. Depending on how much regen he actually uses, considering he's getting quite ganked here. Quite harassed here, I should say. But yeah, we'll see if he can actually get ahead. In the meantime, Afterlife, I'm not really expecting him to get anything done. He might actually be first blood. The pounce hits. A Unicorn, one more hit needed. Boom! You're dead. Slark, first blood on the board. This is gonna be a scary Slark.
Yeah, looks like he tried to burn down maybe some of the mana of the Slark, and really, honestly, this is a lane that you can play quite passively and still get XP in, because he can block his own creeps using cogs that will pull back the wave to him, and he can pretty much just go into the tower. He might even give another kill off here, although Unicorn XO is just harassing him out, I think.
Yeah, and with Unicorn being this low on mana, he won't be able to pounce again for a while. So that's good for Afterlife, so getting some cogs out to just keep him low on mana, that would be the way to do it. There is an Orb of Venom up on Unicorn though, so if he starts chasing him down... Well, Slark has boots, and Clockwork does not. Well, things are gonna get hairy. Crystal Maiden, in the meantime, she's jungling a bit. She's gonna give some experience to Afterlife, so that's nice. For Afterlife, at least, to get himself some levels, because, he, like I said, he just can't get too close to this Slark, who is actually, with that Crystal Maiden aura, is getting back to his opponent's mana level again real fast.
Yeah, the issue is he won't have enough for a while for both Pounce as well as Dark Pact. Plus, if Clockwork actually picks up the Battery Assault soon, starts getting a few points in that, it can be quite dangerous for Unicorn to actually dive on him. The sheer fact that he's got such an XP advantage, and probably a farm advantage as well, very obviously, will make things really hard for Afterlife. They're gonna go on him again.
Yeah. Here comes the Pounce. Crystal Maiden already with the Frostbite. Let's see if Unicorn can get enough damage out. I think he can. That's another kill added to the Slark's kill list. I mean, that was only a Frostbite used. That was the only thing that was used to set that up. And as you said, there was only mana for Pounce, so no mana for any Dark Pact. Just the right click damage, and of course the Essence Shift makes a big difference. But Afterlife is back. Level 3 still now up against a level 5 Slark. And the downside of a Clockwork, of course, on the offlane is, unlike a Nature's Prophet or any hero like the Swords, he cannot... Oh, wait a second. Afterlife, can he make this happen? Unicorn, he will be able to pounce away. Just enough mana.
I wish he would have gone for Battery Assault at level 2 over the Rocket Flare, because imagine if that last kill they went for on him, he'd done exactly the same there. I don't think he would have died the second time. If Unicorn had dived him under the tower, he may have even got a kill.
Yeah.
And this is really the strength of Battery Assault versus these melee heroes, is they really, really don't want to fight you. Like you said, Clockwork, he doesn't really want to go to the jungle. He can just about do it with a couple levels of Battery Assault, because it's basically like having an extra Clockwork, but it's very, very slow. It's nowhere near the same as a Nature's Prophet going to the jungle, or even like an Elder Titan or something. He very much struggles to farm up there.
Yeah, that's his curse basically. But if he indeed can get a kill upon Unicorn, that would be great, and especially considering that he would now get a kill upon a very high level target, so he'll get a lot of experience from that kill. Should he get it, of course. I mean, that's going to be the big question, isn't it? If he can actually do that. In the meantime, we have a bit of a rotation from Ace. Ace also level 4. I mean, he's on the aggressive, or versus a safe tri lane rather. He's on the aggressive lane for himself. 5 last hits. You can't really ask more from a Bristleback, other than just get levels and hope that you don't die. And he's doing exactly that.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself right now. He's messing around with these creep pulls, making sure he gets a bit of XP when he can from them. Trying to even steal last hits. I believe he tried to a couple times through the bushes with the quill spray. And this is one of the issues with going up against a Bristleback, is you can't really zone him too much because he'll trade with you relatively evenly. He actually kind of enjoys fighting you. And if you go for a kill on him, he takes so long to go down, and he can turn his back to you, that mean that any TPs that come in from the rest of Mousesports' side, for instance if the Crystal Maiden TPs in, or even the Slark, then you can suddenly find yourself having overdived and losing multiple heroes to an offlaner and some of his friends.
Yeah. Yeah, things could go bad real fast. They have to make sure that they are really controlled in that and know exactly what that Crystal Maiden is doing, or at least if she does or does not have a TP scroll, which at the moment she does not. But this Crystal Maiden is sitting on 1600 gold, and it has got only iron branches in her inventory.
Midas incoming. It can't
really,
be
though?
killed. Midas can never be killed. Oh
I would
dear.
really be
It looks like
disappointed by
they're...
crit from that, but we'll see. They are going to go for Sheetley. They're going to find him. Test of Fate comes out. Nice impale. Double impale. And with the Grave Shield, that might be enough to get away.
Top tower is under
That
attack.
could be a smoke gank failed. Crystal Maiden will still get some last hits there, but no gank happened. And actually, they're going to go in. The rage goes. They go on crit. The open wounds is there. It is Flipside that gets a kill right here. Infest and 2 creep. Gen creeps are dead. And Light comes in, Vortex up on Ace, just chases him away because they want to have Rise. He is the easier target here. They don't have an open wounds, they don't have an impale, and Rise will therefore make himself scarce. And that means Crystal Maiden, who was just sitting on... Actually, she didn't really lose any gold at all. Never mind. Lame.
Yeah, looks like she's rushing like a fast 4 staff or something. She just picked up a staff of wizardry. Apparently, boots are necessary, acquire intelligence.
For staff it is. Want to get away from the life stealer. Here comes the slow on Ace. They want to take him down. They've got a vortex. They got an impale. They should be able to do this. Actually, there's no soul assumption, but they have enough damage. With the Visage still taking the last hit, soul assumption or not, that's gonna mean that it is a 2-for-2 score. And a good kill, because Bristleback definitely needed to die. In the meantime, Unicorn is looking for Afterlife, and he finds him too. One more hit needed. The Dark Pact will get him, actually. Teleport coming in, but Unicorn's already jumped himself out, and S7 won't be able to catch on.
Yeah, Unicorn's having a really nice day here. This is a good matchup for him versus the Clockwork, especially off the back of that first blood. If he doesn't get the first blood, this matchup can go relatively well for the Clockwork. You have to play very safe. You have to be a little bit scared of the Slark, because at any point he can jump on you. But generally, if the Slark hasn't managed to hit level 6 really early, then you can turn around and battery assault him inside the cogs and fight. But the offlane Clockwork really hasn't worked for them this game. They have picked up a hook shot on him, but it looks like he used it at some point and it's not helped him get a kill. He's probably rotating to try and find someone now, though.
Yeah, because also their tier 1 mid went down. That's of course courtesy of Exist, who... I mean, this Lifestealer was planning on going on the Dragon Knight. He was expecting the help from Exist, of course, who was having his hookshot off cooldown again. But he didn't rage enough. He didn't rage in time, and Exist just thought, hey, that's a free kill. Let's take it. He gets it. Only cost him some mana, but other than that, I mean, he's got a full bottle, so why not? That was awkward.
Yeah, that was a really awkward kill there. I feel like maybe Afterlife just misclicked or something. That could have been an opportunity to turn that around there. The Lifestealer had Infest, so if he'd been able to survive for a little bit longer, which the hookshot would have allowed him to do, then he could have infested into a creep, jumped out, and they probably could have tried to turn on Exist, although he is very tanky at this point. Already 3 levels up in Dragon's Blood, he's got his treads as well. He's working with 1400 gold here. There are a lot of rich people on the side of Mouse right now.
Yes. It is, where can I see that? There we go. Current gold. It is, there's a lot of rich people up on Mouse, indeed. That's just scary. Even the Chen is sitting on 1k gold. He's got mana boots. In the meantime, one of these things, like a safe lane Storm Spirit, he's getting like nice farm. I mean, he is sitting on a Oblivion Staff, he's going for the Orchid. But until he has it, he's kind of locked himself in a position that he is not going to go anywhere until he has it. They're going to try to get another kill up on Ace though. The Vortex, the slow, where's that Vortex? There it is. Impale will follow up. Maybe they can get this kill as well. It looks like they can. Nicely done. They need to continuously get these kind of kills, because otherwise it will take too long before Enlight is able to join the fight. And we already have got 2 towers down on the side of Flipside, with both tier 1 towers on the top and middle lane dead. The bottom lane is the next one where Mousesports is going to go, and that's going to be putting Enlight's farming space in jeopardy.
Yeah, this is something we hadn't really talked about, but the side of Mouse, again, they picked up heroes who can push really well. DK as well as Chen, so they've already taken out those 2 towers, whereas in the meantime, like you said, and Light, he kind of just has to sit in this lane until he's picked up an Orchid, although it looks like he's coming in for a TP here.
Yeah, but
this might not be too great an idea.
No, Sheasley just teleported in as well. He just teleported in to die. We still have the Clockwork sitting around. They want to do something, but I mean, this is... Everybody's just going in one by one. What is this flip side? I mean, like, okay, they get the Chen. Great, Lifestealer is able to do something, but that was a very, very awkward play. I say awkward again. I realize that, but that was... I can't say bad play. That was bad play. There we go.
Yeah, they allowed too many people to get caught out before they actually wanted to start the fight then. Flipside have just really looked a little bit shaky. They're looking better this game, I feel, than they did in the last game. And their draft is quite strong. The issue is that Mouse have been really on fire the past few days. And, I mean, credit where credit's due. They're still 4 for 7. They're not, by no means, you know, completely out of this game. But
That's true.
Mousesports... Unicorn has already picked up an Oblivion stuff, so it looks like he's going to go Orchid as well. This is a really smart move, considering the...
It's in the courier.
Does he have it? Or yeah, it's coming on the courier. This is a really fast Orchid for him. 11 minutes in, this is pretty much the fastest time that you can get it if you rush it.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that makes Enlight very jealous, because he really wants that as well, because that would be his cue to be more involved in fights. And yeah, you mentioned, I mean, Mouse has been on fire lately. So you cannot allow yourself to make weird mistakes like that, like teleporting in one by one and then getting caught out. That was, and then still go in after, you know, after your safe laner is dead. That's just not the way you're supposed to be handling Mousesports here. As Exist is sitting on 2,800 gold. Apparently he doesn't need any items apart from treads. He's been doing really well without any other items though. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still sitting second highest on the net worth list, as we do have a bit of a fight going on bottom. The hookshot comes in, Afterlife looks for Unicorn, gets him clogged in, but he has a Shadow Dance right now and he should be okay because of that. Just goes for it, will still get picked off. Nicely done for the Clockwork. In the meantime, no, Enlight, he will get picked off. And S7, can he invest? No, he cannot, goes down as well. I mean, if you're Mousesports and you are gonna lose your Slark for the first time of the game, you might be as well picking up the 2 other cores for Flipside for it. So in a way, it was still a good trade for Mousesports.
Yeah, I'd say that's well worth it. One of the things with Slark is he doesn't really need too many items. It's pretty rare to see somebody go this aggressive item-wise on the hero. Generally, you want some level of survivability, but I guess he's just relying on his team to follow up behind him and hopefully get some of the aggro off him. One real issue in that fight, though, was the Lifestealer going on to Ace, the Bristleback there. I talked about this before. You do not want to be hitting the back of Bristleback. You do virtually no damage to the hero then. You're getting hardly any extra damage from Feast. It's all being reduced by that passive. And in the meantime, you're accidentally activating extra quill sprays that are coming off. Ace is hammering the W key. You're taking a ton of damage there. By the time S7 was actually able to go on another target, he'd taken 2/3 of its health, even after an infest.
You know, it just makes me a bit sad. But for Mouse, of course, it's all good. They are 10k gold ahead. They are 10k experience ahead almost. And after this Roshan, they'll have an Aegis. There's no tier 2 tower down yet on the side of Flipside, but I'm expecting Mousesports to just take all 3 of those. Surgical precision, just go bottom, go middle, go top, or in any order that they want to have it. Just take out the tier 2s and afterwards try and go high ground, see how the game is progressing then, of course. I mean, in terms of farm, the supports on the side of Flipside, the supports on the side of Mousesports have the same kind of farm as the cores on the side of Flipside.
Yeah, score right now really doesn't reflect how bad things are going for the side of Mouse. Whenever they are giving away these kills, it's because they're extending into taking towers or they're taking objectives from the side of Flipside. And a lot of the kills have been on really, really important heroes. Flipside, they can't afford to have their Clockwork so weak at this point. I mean, he's trying to build up gold right now. He's actually on 1400 gold, but he's got no items. He's got literally no items, so any initiation from him will result in death. Whereas Mousesports, they have a lot of tanky heroes, they have a lot of items. Exist, he decided to buy a full BKB, so it looks like Mouse is just going to want to go high ground.
Yeah, I mean, they are even able to defend their tier 1 with that. I mean, for flip side, I thought, well, this is good. They get themselves a bit of gold. Even trading a tier 1 for a tier 2 tower at this point is not bad, because you need that core gold up. Whoa, that's Nyx already dead. Dragon 2 comes up on Enlight. He's going to be picked up in the time that he's done as well. S7 tries to do what he can. Nice hookshot steal on a soul assumption as well, but it doesn't seem to matter. Unicorn may be picked up. Yeah, he loses the Aegis, but at the same time, they're able to force Flipside away from their tier 3 tower. Buick, I mean, this by Carapace is on, but it doesn't seem to matter. Triple kill for Exist. Might be looking for an ultra kill, but there's nobody around anymore. There's only 2 heroes left alive, and they have retreated back to their fountain. We are 16 minutes into this game, and Mousesports, they're seemingly unstoppable.
They look really, really solid in this game. I feel like this is less Flipside making mistakes. They had that one really bad mistake where they TP'd in, but otherwise, Mousesports have just looked really, really comfortable with their game plan so far.
Yeah, maybe they can force them out now though. Maybe this is the place where Mousesports overextends. Impale still comes out of an ace. They have a bit of a split focus fire, and that's kind of doing them in at the moment. Some going for ace, some going for unicorn, so some shot on someone else. As Buick gets picked up again. Clockwork, of course, going down as well. That's a double kill for the Chen. GG is called. It will be a 17-minute game here. The second game for Flipside. The third game on day 14 of StarLadder Star Series. And Flipside couldn't beat Mousesports. They'll take this victory and continue to look very strong.
Mousesports look very, very strong in this tournament. I don't think Flipside... Something looks wrong with them today. Maybe they've, just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I certainly think they can put in more impressive games than that. The issue for them this game was they really just never got off the ground. They were trying to get up some core items, but Mouse, they were able to farm up very, very fast. Those kit deaths on the Clockwork were real hindrance to them. He just made a few little positioning mistakes in the lane, and you instantly get pounced. You die because there's a support there as well. Really, really difficult game for Flipside there, but very well played to Mouse.
Indeed, and of course, like I just said, this was our last game today. Tomorrow we'll have 5 games in total, just to quickly go over them. Next KZ versus Cupid, Aspera versus Virtus Pro, Sigma versus Alliance, Cupid versus Roxkiss, and then Relax versus Mousesports. So Mousesports will have a chance to prove once again that they're not just on a lucky streak, that they actually have just grown. I guess that's the right word for it. Grown.
Yeah, this team looks very different to how they used to.
Yeah, I agree. And in a good way, in a very good way. Of course, thank you for co-casting with me. They were very short games, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it. Do you have any shoutouts or plugins before we take off?
I'll plug myself again. That's pretty much all I have to plug or shout out for the moment. I'm GAdvance. You can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/setmygibs. You can also follow my Twitter page that everyone keeps on telling me to use, at JossWilkinson1.
Yep, thank you, and of course follow him. It costs you nothing, and I also mean follow on Twitch. It costs you nothing and it helps actually a lot. Of course, also follow me on Shiver Gaming. That's for Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all under the same name. And tune back in tomorrow. During the day, I won't be here. I'm gonna help my brother paint his new house. Yes, I'm gonna be active. So I'll probably be very tired by the time that I get home, but nonetheless, make sure you tune back in for StarLadder tomorrow, and stick around for watching some commercials if you want to, but I'm not gonna do that for a very long time, because, to be honest, there's just not a lot of people to watch commercials, so it's not really gonna be, this is gonna be all that worth it. So I'll be right back for once again to show off my newly acquired Christmas hat, and thank you, and have a good night.